again, dear ones. Reverend Robert with you here on the New Thought Media Network. Trusting you're having a good day out there. This is The Growing Edge. And if you are so kind, I invite you, please do give a share on this video. One of our unique challenges on this platform is that unique experiences on this platform is that it's become increasingly more and more difficult to post and to get our stream to stay stable in Facebook in a number of properties. We're doing well on YouTube. And so my invitation and my request is, if you would please give us a share, give us a shout out, whatever it might be. Let people know what we're doing here at New Thought Media Network, because I believe it is an incredibly powerful thing that we're doing here. And I know many others that believe that as well. And so if you have a belief that what we're doing here is powerful and meaningful and inspiring, then please share us with a friend. Share us with a friend who will share us with a friend. Better yet, come get involved with us. This is The Growing Edge. For those of you that wonder where I may have been last week, thank you for wondering. I had my second vaccine shot, and sometimes things just don't go. It was a very weird and strange experience, and I was trying to get everything together for this last week, and there's some technical difficulties, and my mind got foggy and groggy, and I apologize. But I believe skipping last week was probably a lot better than actually trying to make a show happen in the mental fog that I was in for a good portion of the early half of last week. So I thank you for your forgiveness on that, and I'm grateful you're with me here this morning. The Growing Edge is born out of one of the visioning questions. And this ministry, New Thought Media Network, my personal travels, my personal traversing of spiritual experience and organizations and ministries and communities and various places of serving and being over my I am this close to 20 years since I discovered or rediscovered, or however I guess not rediscovered, since I personally was awakened to the philosophy of New Thought and of the science of mind. There's many things that I believed prior to that date, and I should go look that up and see when exactly that was, so I can celebrate that. It's in August, I know that for sure. So a few months and we'll have a party of some sort, a virtual party. So The Growing Edge is born out of the visioning question, what are we becoming, or what am I being called to become? If it's a group organization, what are we becoming as a group, as an organization? If it's myself, what am I being called to become? What is my growing edge? So it's not a destination, it's not a place, right? Think of it from that the imagery of the plant and how a new leaf will just appear. And I think of I use plants a lot, but I think of this peace lily I have in my basement here. Now our studios are in a basement. If anybody knows peace lilies, you know they got to be happy to flower. I've currently got 5 flowers going on my peace lily. And 1 or 2 flowers that are kind of on their way out, and just okay. And that's the metaphor for what we're doing in ministry. There are constantly new flowers coming into play, into awareness, into experience. And there are often old ones that just fall off. Now, we also have plants where the leaf leads to the next leaf, to the next leaf, and my rhododendrons and stuff like that, or not the rhododendrons, sorry, I forget what they're called. But no matter where we are in our life, the promise is that there's a newness emerging. Now, I personally rely on predominantly the visioning experience and the visioning process to communicate, to collate. I don't collate very well, actually, but to communicate, to catch the glimpse of what that growing edge is for me. And so earlier today, if it here still it is, I want to share this. Earlier today, again, last week I was out of sorts, and so this week everything's back to its normal swing. Everything's happening, and that means that the Mystic Writers Hangout happened this morning, and in that I often share a quote, a writing prompt, something to inspire our journaling process. And this is what I got today. This is, and we've got a whole folder in the shared drive of different quotes and memes and images and things that we've been cultivating over this past 14 months now, I think. So and all of that. So there's this vast array. And if you go looking for something randomly, like I did this morning, like, hey, what spirit want me to pull at? And that literally was the question I asked myself. I opened the folder and I said, what does spirit want me to play with this morning to be in this journaling process with? And this is that I picked, and I read through a handful and I kept hitting on things, and I was just kind of throwing darts at the folder. I just click on something and I landed on this one. Now, this is from the Science of Mind glossary. I didn't have the time this morning to change the gender pronouns, so please forgive the male pronoun dominant languaging here. And we do want to remember, just not an excuse. It's just the truth of what was. At the time, the writings reflected this. So intuition is God in human, revealing to him or her the realities of being. Just as instinct guides the animal, so would intuition guide us if we would allow it to operate through us. The ability to know without any process of reasoning. Intuition is the ability to know without any process of reasoning, and that God knows only intuitively. Intuition is God in us, revealing to us the realities of being. Just as instinct guides the animal, so would intuition guide us if we would allow it to operate through us. Are you listening to your intuition? And I have to. That is truly the growing edge. And even as I picked that and I was in my journal and using my journaling process this morning, there's pieces in here that are pointing right back to the fact that, yes, New Thought Media Network is not only the growing edge, but there's so much more coming our way. There's so many new and amazing opportunities to step into, to say yes to. And those opportunities are kind of showing up one by one. Now, here's what I'm learning. Here's the real big growing edge. What I'm learning is the avenue of our healing does not always take the form of our imagination. Let me say that again. The avenue of our healing does not always take the form of our imagination. So there's something happening in the world. And now, I was also taught along the way that you don't really share the details of your growth, of your learning as a minister, as a leader, as someone that's up on stage virtually, daily, weekly, in various forms, sharing and casting a vision of where this community could be going. Right? It's not mine to sit here and tell you and share all the little details of all of this, because it's still emerging. I don't know where it's going. But what I do know is it's so much fun to be able to witness it in the earliest of stages. So there's a thing going, there's a healing that I'm experiencing in my life. There's something I've been working on for a while now. To bring myself to a deeper sense of oneness and connection with an aspect of my life. Let's say it that way. That's a good way to say it. With an aspect of my life. And I don't want to cloud your perception of any of the relationships, any of the connections, any of the expressions that emanate from that experience that's happening within me. Following along so far? This is my growing edge right now. I want to be very real with you and very transparent with you, and I want to share and cast a vision with you. And I'm not going to share all the details because much of it is yet to be unseen. But the long and the short of it is there's something happening in the world that I don't really agree with. And I still question, and I've been questioning and wrestling with God around this in my own meditations, in my own contemplations, in my own discussions with colleagues and others. Excuse me. And today, within the last hour, there is the birth of a project that I've been looped in on. That may very well put me in a position of deciding if this ministry, which is far beyond just mine now, right? It started as my vision, but it's far beyond mine now. I know there's so many people involved, so many people that are stepping into leadership, so many people that are saying, I'm willing to serve and volunteer and be a part of this. And how can I help? And what can we do? It's far beyond me. And this call is being said, here's an avenue for you to heal the relationship that I'm talking about. Here's an avenue to heal it, but it doesn't come. But it almost seems like it might be a little bit of a back channel. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's a direct healing. It feels like it's a stepping stone to something a little here, there, or the other place. And in my journaling today, there's a reminder that there are no detours in life. So I have to be in that place with my intuition to say, okay, and I want to share with you, this is how real this is. At 5 minutes to the hour, my phone rang. And I know exactly who it was because they're in my phone. Surprise, if you're not in my phone, I don't know it's you and I'm not going to answer. If you're in my phone and I know who you are, then I know who you are, then I'm very likely to answer, unless it's 4 minutes before I'm supposed to go on air with this program. 5 minutes, 4 minutes before this program started, the phone rang. And that is the person that is opening that is asking for, that is that's leading a project. It's a unique and interesting place to be in. It's an interesting and unique place to be in. To be face to face with, I don't believe that. I don't know that. I don't know why I would. I don't know if I do. I haven't been given an opportunity to really explore the behind the questions of this event, of this experience, of this initiative that's happening. And I'm being asked to support it pretty quickly. And that could lead to a great, great healing. I would have to believe it leads to a great, great healing. Because the alternative is that it leads to a lesser healing. It leads to an AFGO. If there's anybody out there that knows what an AFGO is, AFGO. Another fabulous growth opportunity. Uh, I'd rather the healing. And I'd rather forego the AFGO if that's what this is. So I have to listen. I have to listen to the intuition. I have to listen to that place that says, and that means, and that doesn't mean just sit in meditation and, oh, God, tell me what to do. It's not right? That's not it. Yes, that's part of it, right? There's the part. Here's the thing. I saw a prayer request come through today, and I'm on a number of prayer teams. And I see some prayer requests come through some teams that are global that get requests from all over the globe. So as a religious scientist, it's very interesting when a prayer request comes across your desk that's asking for the healing of someone's demonic possession. We don't hear that a lot inside some of my churches. If you're a practitioner out there and you've ever been asked to heal someone's demonic possession, please comment in the comment box. Let me know. If you have a minister and you've been asked to heal someone's demonic possession, let me know in the comment box. So my point is, I get a lot of interesting prayer requests from a lot of different avenues across the planet that come through my computer and through my desk. Some of them, like demonic possession, don't faze me a bit. I understand that. I get that. I know what that's all. And I would love for those people to actually be on the call when we do a recap call. And however, there are those that make me stop and go, wow. You are a new thoughter. This person is a new thoughter, and here is the limiting belief, and it's pretty obvious. Here's the limiting belief that's happening, and it's pretty evident. And we can heal this now, right here. The healing is never anything more than my limited perception of possibility and opportunity that is God's life. The healing is never anything more than my personal belief that there is separation and division that's still in the world. And I believe more and more the work that we're here to do, and some would call it, and there is... Wow, I have found myself in a unique position sharing with you today, haven't I? New thought, by its very nature, my belief, has in its own right experienced a form of denominationalism that is actually an ebb and flow in the flow of consciousness that is bringing us even into a deeper sense of unity, and will dissolve that sense or that perception of divisive denominationalism, separation of organizations and belief systems, and that we are, as a global philosophy, growing into oneness. And the only way to grow into the oneness is to be able to explore all the various aspects of that oneness. And so we've done that through religious science, divine science, science of mind, Christian science, Unity International, Agape International, Inner Light, and all the true thought, all the various now emerging ways of expressing this, and we get to study them all. I think that's pretty cool. And more importantly, we get to witness them growing into one thing. Well, not one thing, but growing into the understanding of our oneness. It doesn't mean we all have to play together nice all the time, but it does mean that we all understand there's no reason to be mean, and it really doesn't get us anywhere. So I might as well just play nice. It moves me into a place of saying there are those decisions that come to me that I have to be willing to say, nope, not mine to do. Not necessarily not mine to do. Not my decision to make. How's that sound? A little bit better, right? A little different. So this call that's coming in, quite literally, the call through Facebook, and I'm sure there's probably an email that I haven't seen yet, and now a phone call. Through this call that's coming through, quite literally, there's an opportunity to say, okay, I can't just deny this. I can't say, nope, I don't think that's for us. I don't think that's for me. Nope. And I can't just say, absolutely, we'll throw everything we got behind that. Because my humanness hasn't been there yet. And so there is the prayer, right? To get my humanness to a place where I can hear a truth other than my own about this idea, about this project, about this concept. Now, there's different ways to do that. There are people I can call and say, can we have a conversation about this? Can you help me understand this, please? That's one avenue. I can turn to the vision and turn to visioning. And in the visioning process, ask the questions of visioning around this project. What is the highest ideal? What is the highest vision for this project? What is the highest vision? What is the highest ideal for how this is going to be accomplished? What is the highest ideal? What is the highest vision for New Thought Media Network's participation in this project? See, I've been involved in visioning since the very earliest days and I have books. They're back here on the shelf. I can pick them out within a minute. And I was called today, this week, and in this, to start to go back and look for some of the proof. Go back. Do you have journals from 5 years ago? 10 years ago? I do. I got visioning notes. That far back are pretty buried. 10, 15, 20 years ago. Some of those didn't actually survive. Some of them were lost along the way. But a lot of them have survived, and there's a lot of notebooks with a lot of visioning notes. And I'm feeling the call, the growing edge to go back and mine those books. Now, the beauty is with today's technology, I can take a picture of just what I want, and just what I need, compile a picture and compile through photographs the evidence that I am right now living the demonstration of the visioning process that I engaged with 10, 15, 20 years ago. That's pretty cool stuff. And what I want you to know is New Thought Media Network is being built, being created, has been conceived 20 years ago, probably earlier, by someone here, someone there, some along the way. I can look at my life and see pieces and parts of what are necessary for my experience right now that I couldn't understand 20, 30, 35 years ago. Coming out of high school, there were things that it was like, I look back and I'm like, oh, now all that makes sense. Okay, I get it now. And if by weird chance anyone that is in high school hears this, please know that no matter where you are in your life, stick with it, stick with us. It's going to get better. If you are in any way opting or considering that, and this is for adults as well, anybody that's considering to opt out of this whole gig and this whole thing, please don't. Call me first. Call somebody, because you're necessary. who you are and what you bring to the overarching, to the long-term evolution of human life. Because human life's not going to end next week, and it's not going to end next month, it's not going to end in the next 10 years, and it's not going to end in the next 100 years. Even if this is an ongoing discussion at our dinner table, even if Yellowstone were to go, the universe has an amazing way of course correcting. Human life has an amazing power thus far to sustain. And I believe that we have not been brought this far to be left swinging in the wind. And I've been saying that for decades. There is no way I have been brought to this point in my life, to this point of ministry, to this point of experience in the time-space continuum of which we have all bought into. Whether it's an illusion or not, whether it's a computer program or not, whether it's just our human nature or not. Matrix 4 is coming out this year. I can't wait to see how they're going to make Neo and Trinity look like they're still, I don't know. It's supposed to be pretty close to the original timeline. We'll see. I haven't done my research on it yet, but it's coming. So even if this is all just a computer program and a Matrix program, we've all opted for this same belief stream. So let's see what we can do with it. Let's see how we can activate it. Let's see, and I'm fully committed, and there's still a couple of things I don't want to talk about because they're the growing edge. I'm gonna help, and here's the thing though. Hang out on this show, keep coming back and watching. This is the place where you're gonna find out what's new and what's really on the edge of the vision for this media network, for this ministry, and I believe on how we practice, and not just practice. Okay, I mean, I know, I get it. The word is a great word, and the word leads to the sense of, right, not just practice, but live it. Live it. Actually living this philosophy of the science of mind. This new thought philosophy. Actually living it, demonstrating it. Moment by moment, day by day, through the activities of this mighty network, of this ministry, and so much more. When it comes to the network, we do have a growing edge, by the way, also. A couple of things that are happening that I want you to know about and that I'm just learning about actually as well. Our dear Laura Topper. Now, if you haven't met Laura and you're not following Laura on this channel, on this network, please do. She's going to be bringing us another new program. It's Top Mama, and it's designed to help empower women at risk, women that may be at risk of being unhoused, women who may be at risk of losing job, work, and relationship, and I don't want to call it a support group because it's not. It's a women's empowerment group. And it's going to happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're working out all the final details, but it's looking like 7:30 Mountain Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, probably starting within the month because what I know about Laura Topper is when she gets her mind set to something, it starts happening, and bing, 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 everything starts moving and falling into place. So we've got new programming coming. We are still in discussions with a number of other folks about new programming. And the big one is, I feel like, and one of the things I really am doing is we're going to develop an advisory council. I think I'm not sure of the name yet, but I want to bring together a group of people, and I've talked to a number of them. And this is not a board of directors. It's not a board of trustees. There's good and bad to all of that. That's different. That's the governance. That's the legal necessities to keep the state and the federal government happy, and we're doing all of that, but I don't want that to be part of the creation side. So this is different. This is a meeting of the minds. This is bigger than a mastermind. This is And it's not a vision council. That's going to be different. We're going to have a vision council, and this is a different council, and it's there to help us determine our growth, our direction, where we want to move, how things move through. And so we have people that are starting to help us to develop systems. And that is my call. If you're watching this, and you are, thank you very much. And if you have a skill, a gift, or a talent that you might be willing to share with us for even a few hours a week, we would love your support and your help. We need a lot of people behind the scenes to help us develop systems, to help us develop avenues of understanding. So when people come in the door, both show hosts or producers or volunteers or advisors or special counsel, consultants or whatever it is, when people come into our organization, they're welcome, they're honored, they're respected, and it's easy for them to find their way around so that we get things done. And on that other side, people helping us to facilitate with show hosts and produce shows and keep things running and keep things smoothly running. Who's on this week? Who's doing what? All the things that it takes to run programs. We're asking for that support as well. So that's part of my growing edge, asking for that love, asking for that support. And you're going to see and hear me doing more of that as we go along too. So I'm running over. I better get out of here. I love you. Thank you so much. It's an honor that you're watching and that we get a chance to be together. I'm going to get out of here for now. Today is Tuesday, which means we have New Thought Today coming up at 2:00. My brother Elzia, Reverend Elzia, and I will be together for an hour talking about New Thought. And we have a great special guest today. Reverend Celeste Frazier will be with us as well. And then at 3:00, one of our other new programs. And if you haven't caught this yet, this is really turning into a fun and great program. The Vibrant Living Hour with Coach Ken, our dear friend Ken Ludwig. It happens Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Mountain right here on the New Thought Media Network. All right, dear ones, I love you. Thank you so much for being with us. Until next time, peace and blessings. Go out there and make it a fabulous day. Bye now.